Oh, here we go. Day two. So excited. So, if you are in the Facebook group, I've just popped the link. Obviously, you would have got that. Oh, I just turned my light off. Apologies for the late post for the link, but I literally had to relocate because my cottage was powerless. We lost all power, and therefore the Wi-Fi, therefore any signal because I'm out in the country. So I'm here. So welcome to Self-Care Series Day 2. If you're joining me live or on the recording, I'm really, really grateful that you're here with me. Probably shouldn't have played with my hair before as I was starting the call. I'm learning about short hair. So here we get to arrive. So yesterday we talked a lot about release. We talked about what gets in the way. We talked about really acknowledging that there are thoughts, fears, doubts, and things that come up when we're in change. And that those things like resistances, procrastinations, they are human, and that they are really a reflection of change happening. However, we need to learn to work with it, and that is how self-care works. And that is what some of the tools that we can use to regulate will help us do. We can see what's coming up, stay present to it, listen to self, and then move forward with a different energy rather than letting those fears and doubts come in and whoop, see ya, I'm going back that way. So it's just acknowledging that there's parts of our brain and there's parts of our nervous system that are trying to keep us safe, but they do work against us wanting to make change. So just knowing that and working with it is just so powerful. Today, I want to talk about, if you saw the little post in the Facebook group, commitment. Commitment. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about really honoring self in a new way. I want to talk about the importance of understanding your why and about really knowing where things are needed to be like reorganized in our lives. So what needs shifted, what needs lifted, and how do we want to up level? So that's what we're here to do. That's what I'm here to share. And if you have a pen and paper, I really encourage you to take notes. That may not resonate with you. I am a note taker. That's how I take in information. Even if I never read it again, that's just how I receive and absorb. I am right here. I can see the questions. If you have any chat or if you want to just say, hey, let me know who you are and that you're here, I would love that too. Again, that's regardless of whether you're live or on the recording. I'll see those come through. I'll get your questions. If we're here live together, I will answer them. Maybe not in the moment. I might swing back around or in the moment if it fits right. And same thing if you're watching the recording, I will get your questions. Hello, beautiful Sam. It's so nice to have you here. And everyone else, I can see a couple of others that are here, and just really honored to share this time with you. Happy Tuesday evening. So what I really wanted to get across the line first is that self-care is not and never will be a quick fix. And if anyone is telling you that it is, they are doing you a disservice. But that doesn't mean that I'm saying it's harder than it is. What I'm saying is that caring for self is about building a better relationship with you. And in order to do that, it takes regular commitment. And because we want to be tuning into self, tuning into the most important person in our life, whether you believe it right now or not, this is true because you are the one that you came into this world with. You are the one you will go out with, right? You are the one that knows what you need to hear, what you need to do, even though your brain may tell you otherwise, more than anyone else in this world. So you are the one that is best qualified for taking care of you. So the more time you spend with you in conscious practices, the more you will build this I've got my own back relationship, which is so incredibly powerful. So it's not easy for us to hear, hey, you know what, it's not a quick fix, because we are with the information and the quick gratification and the instant I can order this lifestyle that we have, we do, even in our self care, think that one thing will make it all better or that someone else will make it all better. If they're telling you that, they're not doing you a disservice. You get to take care of you. It's just about absorbing and practicing the tools that really align with you. But first and foremost, that comes from having the mindset that I can work with me, that I need to support me, and I want to because things get better when I do. And they either get better, let's be honest, they either get better or we do better at what isn't better. So our coping mechanisms are much more aligned, which is just so powerful. And that's the other thing that I wanted to share with you is like, it's about building yourself up. It's about really connecting to you within yourself and getting to know all the pieces and parts of you, even the bits you don't necessarily love. They're you, they're human. And if we can love on those, we are a million steps forward. So I really deeply encourage that. Through the practices, whatever practices you choose, to spend time with self on the daily, regardless of how much time that is, through the practices we develop, and I spoke about this yesterday, awareness, presence, and patience. And patience is required for change we want to make because we need this ease and we need this determination to the commitment to ourselves to really believe that something different's on the other side. And understanding when we lean into the tools, we lean into the practices, when we get to know ourselves better, we learn what is right for us and what isn't. And not just in the practices, but in life. Because when we're more present and patient, we can hold space for ourselves in uncomfortable environments. We can acknowledge when environments are no longer of service to us or when we are not coping in an environment because of the way we decided to show up. So, all of this comes from spending time with self. All of this comes from choosing a set of tools that supports you on the daily or as often as you can. And the reason why I say that is because daily is amazing. However, you didn't fail if you don't do it daily. And that's one way of thinking that can really get in our way is this whole on the bandwagon, off the bandwagon. I didn't do it for a day, so I'll stop for a week and then I'll try and get back on. It doesn't help. The more you do it, the better you feel. If daily works, cool. If you do it twice a week, cool. Lean in as best you can and love on yourself when you can't. And that's really, really the key. But it's also about understanding that self-care is here to gather energy back in. So we are, especially if you're a woman, but actually for most of us now, because that's the way we've also been wired, and we're human and we want to belong and we want to nurture and we want to get things right. All of those things considered, we are givers. We give our energy out. We want to do good by other people. That is sending that energy out. We're spending our energy, which we want to do, and that's okay. But self-care is calling it back in. Just like a bank account, we've got to put the savings in. You've got to take care of you. This is your vessel. This is what guides you. And if you don't have awareness, like I mentioned yesterday, that your brain can get in your way and how you can work with that, then things do get harder. Practice who we want to be and how we want to show up. We've got to practice that patience and that presence. We've got to practice committing to you. And it's just these little small elements, but the why behind it is really important. Because the other thing that happens is that when we're in what we talked about yesterday, that fear and that doubt or that limitation or that can't, coulda, woulda, shoulda all the time, it's like we've plugged our energy into a drain and we're just letting it go. When we're in that negative thinking all the time, we're choosing to spend our energy on nothing. we're choosing to spend our time thinking, creating all of the reasons why not, or really like kind of dreaming on the problems or what could go wrong. That's never going to get us ahead. We need to be more patient and present. So one of the reasons that a lot of this fear and doubt and everything happens is not your fault. You haven't done anything wrong. However, it's possibly because your nervous system is taxed. It's possibly because we need to regulate. Again, you don't need to know where your nervous system's at. You don't even need to know necessarily yet why you're feeling that way. What you need to know is that everything will start to get better when you take care of the nervous system, no matter who you are, because we are in an overstimulating world. We are in this crazy rate of information. We are at speed of light in terms of our brain taking things in. And we are really easily distracted because of all of these things. So our focus is all over the place. We get a bit lost. These are the other reasons why we lean into the self-care tools. When you meditate or breathe, you improve your focus. When you do thought trackers and really start to understand your thinking, like through creative writing and other practices, or through talk therapy, you really start to understand what's been in the way here. When you do those release practices like we did yesterday, you're like, whoa, okay, that's all on a regular basis. These are all the things that I'm thinking, but I'm not aware I'm thinking them. So we bring the unconscious to the conscious and then we move it away. But what we also need to do, and this is my whole point of today, the bits that I've been sharing with you so far were to really encourage you that commitment is key. Whatever that looks like, commitment is key. Committing to self, committing to the practices, trusting that change will come from it. Is that really like the first big point I want to land? Number two, the biggest piece of this call tonight is a really special piece that will help you move forward in a better way. And that is to understand your why. And this is where I want you to get pen and paper, or perhaps you want to type it out on your phone. That's okay too. Pen and paper is better because you're engaging a different part of your brain. Even if it's not neat, even if you're writing on a piece of scrap paper, or you're writing in your best favorite journal that you haven't written in 3 months, it doesn't matter, or 3 years. Just that pen to paper to brain expression is really powerful. However, if that does not align with you, or you don't want to write, you can tap away on this. But what I want you to do is record it. Now, what is your why? Now, start with the self-care. Nobody's going to read this. Nobody's going to know what you write. There is no right or wrong. You can't get it wrong. You're expressing with self. So the first part of the why is, why are you here? Why did you choose to show up here and to listen to what I've got to say in regards to self-care? And be honest with yourself. It might be, I was looking for a quick fix. It might be because it was free. It might be because I just needed another distraction. It's okay. Whatever is true for you is true for you. And honoring that is really important. So it doesn't matter what the answer is. It's just whatever is your truth at this moment. So it's not about what you think could be the best answer. Be honest with yourself. So you might already be writing, and I hope that you are, or typing. What's your reason for being here? And then the next question, and if you're in the recording and you need more time, you can totally press pause. Take as much time as you need. And different questions all different amount of time. Second question, why self-care? What do you need in your life from your self-care? What do you need in terms of building a relationship with self? What is your why? Now we're going to keep going with this, but this is where we start. So keep writing. And I'm going to share just a little bit, but really slowly. So it's less important to listen to me and more important to be writing. What is your why? Not needing to know what is the perfect answer. There isn't one. What is true for you in this moment? While I have a sip of my tea. A beautiful. Oh, sorry, the microphone's right there. You probably heard me slurp. Um, I'll cover it next time. Uh, a beautiful Tulsi sweet rose tea. I think it's got chamomile in it. Yeah. Don't want to be slurping on your ear, especially if you've got headphones in. Jeepers. Okay, so what is your reason for being here? What is your why for self-care? What is your reason? Now, you could answer, don't get overwhelmed. You could answer any of those, just whatever feels right. I'm just giving you different options so that something lands for you in terms of what you want to respond to. Why do you want to improve the relationship with self? Or why do you need a better level or a new level, or maybe you're just beginning, of self-care? When we understand our why, it actually helps move us towards what we're trying to commit to. When we understand our why and then allow it to get even bigger. So, what I mean by that is you might have written or responded a lot of things about what you don't want. And it might be, I don't want to be stressed. I don't want to be anxious. I don't want this. I don't want to deal with this. The don'ts. But what do you want on the other side of that? So again, we're looking for the positive. If you wrote down don'ts, that's not wrong, but let's expand that, right? So if you wrote, I don't want to be stressed, that's why I want to commit to self-care, then your answer is actually, I want to find calm. So we have this natural tendency to say what we don't want, which is great. It gives us information, but we want to get to the place where we can say what we do want, because that helps us move forward as well. And that's that whole point of that why, right? Is really landing into the why of it all. Because the why creates vision, it creates purpose, and that gives us more motivation physically, emotionally, and mentally to commit to the changes we want to make. So keep writing. I'm fully aware that you may have arrived here thinking we're going to do a whole lot of different self-care tools and you're going to get some really easy tips. But if I didn't give you all of this why to really help your brain, I know I spoke to this yesterday, hey, I'm repeating myself because I want to get through to the unconscious brain, that if I didn't really give you the depths to this why and then invite you to find your why, you would be in the same place. Because you can learn as many tools as you like, but if you don't really understand why you want to do it, or who you're showing up for, or what you're working towards, you may fall in and out of the habit a whole lot. Purpose. Maybe it's to build better physical health. Maybe it is to express your emotions more. Maybe it's to cope with your emotions more because you're really expressive. Maybe it's to communicate better. And we can get to those things through a better relationship with self. We can get to those things through understanding the limits, the doubts, the fears, the resistances, the procrastinations, the old habits or old beliefs that we actually on a lot of levels know that aren't true. However, there's still something telling us or holding us to that. We want to bang that to the side. No kidding. Just slap it out of the way. How good would that be? So you might still be writing or you might be coming to an end. This last piece is the most important piece. So I want you to take your why, whatever it's come to, remembering that we wanted to come to what you do want. Now I want you to expand that even more. So if you wrote, I'm just like pulling at straws, there isn't a right or wrong, remember. If you wrote, you want to feel better in your body, maybe you want to be less anxious, you want to find more contentment. Random example, If whatever you wrote is absolutely perfect. Then think about those things. Now expand that even more. So what I mean by expand is let that dream, that vision get bigger. We want to expand your why. So in order to do that, that calm and maybe less anxiety and more emotional kind of regulation, what's that about? Why are those things important to you? Now that's the easiest way to expand what we're working on. You write an answer, ask yourself why again. Why is that important to me? You wrote an answer, ask again. Why is that important to me? So it might be stability. Why is stability important to you? So that I have a solid foundation. Why is a solid foundation important to you? So I feel grounded. And you can keep going. It was a random example, but you might pull from it. That's okay too. Now we worked on or upwards from that less anxiety. It may be to feel more centered and focused. Why do you want to feel more centered and focused? So that I can make better decisions. Why do you want to make better decisions? Because I want to build my career. Why do you want to build your career? Because I want to have more wealth or more financial independence. Why do you want to do that? Because I want to feel free. See where I'm going with that? Let's get it bigger. Let's create a bigger why, which will move you forward towards the practices that you choose and commit to in a better way. And that's what we're all looking for, a better way. There are a lot of things in our life, external environment, external stimulation, old choices that are still here, old ways of thinking that might not even be yours. They might have been passed on to you that are here to clear. And we do that through patience and presence of committing to practices for self. And I am here for that. I am loving this tea. So now you've got your why, an even bigger why. You might have written a whole lot. And some of you may have quite struggled with that, and that's absolutely okay. But the more you practice it, the better and the easier it'll come. Because I'm fully aware, I did this the first time someone asked me this practice. I'd never pictured more for myself before. So I went blank. I just couldn't do it. So if you're there, that's okay. The more we lean into the idea of this, the more things will come through. The more you hear different examples of what I was sharing, the more you might be like, oh, yeah, okay, cool. But what I want you to do now is to choose one word, one big expansive word that explains your why. Might be love, might be vitality, might be freedom, might be stability, might be safety. None of them are right or wrong, just whatever feels. So you think the word, and like if it boom came into your mind, then that's the word for you. If you need to think about it, that's okay. Maybe you got a couple. Let them just say them to yourselves and feel the energy in your body when you say that word. So right now we're encouraging you to find a word that feels powerful for you, that explains your why for committing to self-care, for developing a better relationship for self. So we got there through a series of questions. We're looking for a really beautiful, expansive word to lean into that explains the higher purpose, the higher service of your why. And then we're going to do a little exercise. A little challenge, if you wish, if you're here live with me or you're watching the recording, can you please just drop that one word? That's not too much information in terms of privacy or anything like that. But the reason why I share that is nothing to do with, it's about me being able to see where you're at, because if I can tune in as I do this exercise, if I can tune into your words, that'll be more powerful. But it's also about you having a voice. It's about you speaking into the ether, the universe, and others can read it. Others will read it. Your word. It's committing. If we can't say what we need, it's harder to get it. We need to be able to communicate. So please, 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 if you're live or you're watching the recording, I want to see your word pop up. One word. There is absolutely no judgment here. It is all safety. It is all encouragement, and is all in service of you that you share that word. So if you can share that with me, that would be amazing. And then I can dial into that with the practice. If you're waiting for someone else to do it, they're probably waiting for you to do it. So how about just go for it? Okay. It's tricky when I know that there's people here and either you're not actually listening, and that's okay, or you're afraid, and that's okay too. But we're here for you. So maybe it'll drop with you a little bit later, and that's cool too. Yes, 100% connection. Thank you. Yes, connection, community, and more communication. That is what we need on a planetary level. So, amen. Thank you. Alrighty. So, choosing your word, I'm going to guide you through an exercise, and this is called an anchoring exercise. And what that does is anchor in positive vibration. It anchors in a new energy that you're wanting to work towards. Some of you may have done this before. It is not something that you cannot repeat a million times. You can do it on the daily. It is absolutely good. So if you wanted to come back to this point in the recording and do it again another time, even with another word, you absolutely can. Because as I go through the practice, what I'm going to do is say your word. And that's where I want you to place in your mind that word, or say in your mind, or say out loud actually, your word. Okay. And I want you to really dive into. So I'm going to repeat this practice 3 times. And it's going to get a little faster as I get to the last round, but that's because I'm trying to work with the subconscious. So I'm trying to get to the deeper layers of the parts that you're not necessarily aware of, and bring in new energy for you. So let's tap into your word. That's all you need to do. Whatever word you chose, and it better be expansive. I tell you what, I better be, if it's average, can you notch it up right now to something that feels really good in your body, or just sounds really good? Really good. Okay? So let's do this. Now I'm going to invite you to close your eyes or soften your gaze so that you can focus and go with it. If you're potentially kind of leaning back or laying back, if you could sit up, would be great, and find a little bit of a reach, not with too much effort or rigidity, up and out of the crown of the head. So you've got some length and some spaciousness in the spine. And start to become aware of your breath. With closed eyes, and as you breathe, just becoming aware of where you're placed in time and space. Your mind may be busy, and that's okay. Just bring all of your awareness to your breath. Even without needing to change it, just noticing how you're breathing, where it begins at the nostrils or mouth, how far it goes into the body, where you feel that movement in the body, and then the breath moving out and where it ends, perhaps the warmth of the breath over the upper lip. Or maybe starting to deepen the breath in a smooth and easy way, taking it a little deeper down into the pelvic bowl, creating this beautiful, nourishing internal massage. Your mind may be busy, and that's okay. You're not doing anything wrong. It might feel like it's harder to focus, and that's okay. You're not doing anything wrong. Just stay with me. Just keep breathing, being really present to the breath as much as you absolutely can. Just becoming really present to the breath. And soon I'm going to start this practice. In a moment, but not yet, I'm going to invite your mind to bring onto the screen of your mind something. And I'm going to invite you to allow it to become as clear as you possibly can. We're not there yet. But before we dive into the practice, and as you breathe and make space within your body, I want to remind you that each of us sense and see things differently. Some of us are very visually clear. Others don't. Others hear things. Others feel things. Others just know things. So they may not see it. They may not get a specific message. It may not look like someone else who's getting this beautiful, clear, vivid visual, but you just know. So it's about listening, patience, presence. Here we are. We're practicing what we've talked about today. Patience and presence with self. Keep breathing in a smooth and easy way, creating that internal massage for self. And in a moment, not yet, I'm going to invite you to replace when I say your word, you're going to plop your word there in your mind. And whether you hear it in your mind, whether you see it in your mind, whether you see a banner or a neon sign above your head of your word, I want you to feel it. So here we go. I want to invite you to remember. I want you to invite you to remember a time. Remember a time or memory where you felt your word, knowing that you have felt it before because you're human and you've been here before. I want you to take yourself to a time or a memory where you felt your word. No need to judge it, no need to measure whether it was right or wrong. Whatever comes through for you is absolutely perfect. A time or a memory where you felt your word, and allow it to become really clear on the screen of your mind, as clear as it possibly can. Whether that's visual, whether you hear it, smell it, feel it, know it. There's time or memory where you felt your word, and allowing it to become even clearer, even if that's fuzzy. Noticing maybe what sounds are present in this image. Who else is there or where you are by yourself. Noticing perhaps what smells or other sensations are present. Are you moving? Are you still? What colors can you see? Is it light? Is it dark? Allowing this time or memory of you feeling your word to become as clear as it possibly can. Allow it to really guide into the screen of your mind, and then turning it up like a favorite song on the stereo. We're turning up this vibration of your word from a 5 to 6, 6 to 7, because you deserve it, 7 to 8, really increasing this frequency of the energy of your word, 8 to 9, 9 to 10, doubling this energy and this frequency of your word now, and taking a really big deep breath in to receive it. And exhale it out. Beautiful. Clearing the screen of your mind. I want you to remember what you had for breakfast this morning. Obviously, you do not need to share that with me, but I just wanted to change and interrupt that pattern. If you've opened your eyes, can you close them again and start to become aware of that beautiful breath within the body, that internal massage? And remembering that we'll go a little faster each time because I'm talking to the subconscious. So now I want you to remember a time or a different time or memory where you felt your word. It may surprise you, and that's okay. It may not be what you expect, and that's okay too. Just allow it to come to the screen of your mind, a time or a memory, a different time or memory where you felt your word, and allow it to become as clear as it possibly can. Noticing what sounds or smells or sights or sensations are present in this time or memory where you felt your word. And if takes a little longer, ask the subconscious to bring that forward now, and allow this time or memory for you feeling your word to get even clearer, as clear as it possibly can, even if it's fuzzy, as clear as it can for you of your word. And then we'll turn, even if you only just feel it, that's okay. Know that it's an energy within you. We're going to turn up this energy of your word from a 5 to 6, 6 to 7, because it's here for you now. 7 to 8, yes, we're moving forward. 8 to 9, 9 to 10, doubling that energy, that vibration of your word for you. Big deep breath in to receive it. And clear it out. Can you smell popcorn? That's a way for me to trick your brain. If you've opened your eyes, close your eyes. We've got one more time. We're going to go even faster. I want you to remember a time or memory where you felt your word. Now allow your subconscious to bring forward this time or memory where you felt your word now. It may take a little longer, and that's okay. It may be surprising. It may not be what you expect or what you would even like, but allow it to come forward anyway. It's a time or memory where you felt your words coming onto the screen of your mind now, and allow it to get it even more. Allow it to become as clear as it possibly can, and all the senses that arrive here for you to know what it is here in this time of memory of you felt your word, and allow it to become even clearer in the sight, the smell, the vision, the knowing, the seeing, the feeling, as best as you possibly can, and turning it up from 5 to 6. We're having a great time. It's like we're turning up the song and the stereo, but we're turning up the vibration within your body, and we're having a really beautiful time because you deserve it. We're turning it up from 6 to 7. 7 to 8, we're moving forward. 8 to 9, we're increasing that vibration within you so you remember it on a cell level for yourself. From a 9 to 10, and double that feeling, that vibration of your word now, taking a really big deep breath in and let it out. And taking a moment here with eyes closed to receive it. It may have surprised you. There may be emotions arriving. That's okay. Emotion is energy in motion. All emotions mean that you are feeling, and feeling is healing. It means that you're alive, even if the other feelings you wish you weren't feeling. It means that the energy is in motion, and that is a powerful place to be. And I'm really grateful that you leaned into that exercise. It's such a special exercise, and you can come back to it. You can choose another word. And that's why I record it in that way of your word. That's why I offer it to everybody else, is to really arrive at that and to understand it. Yeah. And to really, really lean in to what you deserve, because this is your birthright, to find a more spacious, more present, more patient, loving kindness for you, to really, truly, honestly have your own back in the best freaking way. Because you get to, even though you may not feel it right now, you get to be your best mate, and you get to honor this vessel and this heart and this energy field and this smart old brain of yours in a better way, for a better way. And that doesn't mean that you're less than now, but what I mean by better way is us finding ourself, finding what lights us up, really leaning into our why. So if there's another thing that you could take from today, is to get clear on, if you're not yet, to create, to play with that why. Really play with that why. And understand that the more you be creative with yourself and play, that's why I love that, the more you'll actually move towards it. So with that why, if it's clear for you, or if it's only going to take a little bit of a tweak, again, it actually doesn't matter what it is. It's just that you have a vision, right? As long as it's positive, not what you don't want. But that why, get creative with it. Create a new screensaver for you. This is my beautiful sister. Create a new screensaver for your phone. Put a post-it note on your mirror or on your steering wheel. Buy a poster or some piece of art, or draw, color the words that are your why. Get creative, have fun, use a different part of your brain, but also put these reminders around for you so that when you're not conscious, because we tap in and out of consciousness, we get into autopilot a bit. We put these reminders around, we're like, oh yeah, that's right. And we can change up the reminders when they start to feel a bit stagnant. When we notice that we're not noticing it anymore, put it in a different place, or color it in a different way, or collage, or talk about it, or anything. Google it and find the definition for the word. Color in, draw a picture, maybe go onto Canva and create a vision board. Find pictures in a magazine that align with your why. Put these things around you. Support your vision. Not to mention that's just fun. I love vision boarding. I love it, vision boarding. And I want to do some, I don't know if you're in Oamaru, but I want to do some of that soon. I want to get people together and do some visual boarding because it's not only is it fun, but it's really powerful. We did, the last one was in January. I'm dropping this in, but I'm going to put a little disclaimer in a moment. We did one in January. I gathered a whole bunch of friends together. It was really beautiful. And some of them have like already, what was a really big dream for them on that day, to the point where they were like, not sure, has already happened. And yeah, it took action. They committed to it. But because they created that vision and they really understood their why, the purpose behind it, they moved toward it. And I'm not going to say an effortless way, but with more ease. And it's just so special. Now, that disclaimer that I came to, if you feel inspired to vision board, can you plan that in at least a week from now? Because this full moon is intense. And if you're feeling the intensities of that, the full moon is amplifying what you're feeling. If you're feeling extra emotional, the full moon is amplifying what you're feeling. You're not doing anything wrong. The feelings are coming up to be illuminated and cleared, and that's absolutely perfect. It doesn't always feel that way. But what I want to say is, in that energy of clearing and sort of this like bringing everything up, it's not a time to vision board. Give it a minute. The new moon is a really good time to vision board. Yes, the 999 portal. So this is the end of stuff, which is why we find that why for you guys, which is why we create purpose for you to move towards. It's why yesterday we looked at this clearing. So being that it's that 999, what you want to do is, if you're feeling, this is the last thing I'm going to offer you for this call today. I got more for you tomorrow, and I just love being here with you all. If you're feeling like there is still a lot of emotion coming up, a lot of expression that's needed, go back to that writing. And another way that you could write the release, I'm sorry when I don't like when I point. I don't know why I do it, but anyway, I'm just going to sit on my hand. It's because I really like it. It's really important to me. Anywho, another way to write and release, and this could be really powerful for you because the moon is still out and bright, depending on where you are, is to answer these questions. I forgive, complete the sentence, or I release, complete the sentence. Write it all, answer those sentences, write as much as you like, and then burn, bury, or flush. Yes. Burn, don't keep it. We want to release it out. So a couple little caveats with that. I release could be, I release this doubt about, I release this resistance to habit, I release this regret about, I release the grudge I have, I release wishing this was different, anything. Or the forgiveness, it might be for someone else, it might be for yourself, it might be in these I releases. I forgive myself, I release this doubt or fear, I release this way I've been hard on myself, and then there might be some forgiveness around that too. I forgive myself for not showing up in the way I wished I could. I forgive myself for being in judgment. And now when the forgiveness comes to another, it doesn't mean that the relationship has to change, but you could forgive the experience that had an impact on you. You could release the impact of that to create space for you. So that is a practice that I'm going to leave you with. We've actually really dialed into a lot today, and boom, we're at 45 minutes. So I'm going to leave it at that because it was a lot. You can go back to that anchoring practice. You can message me, comment, ask questions. I'd love to hear from you, and I'm here to support. And I really do wish you well. And I hope that I maybe get to see you tomorrow night. I will probably be in another different environment, and hopefully after this call, I'll go back home and find that I've got my power back on. Lots of love to you all. Mwah. Ciao for now.